Good morning, Rochester Public Schools staff and families. Would like to give you another update on our facility task force work. At a recent board meeting, the task force presented the three options to the school board and also additional facility needs. The purpose of the meeting was to determine what should be on our survey questions that will go out in sometime in January. The consensus of the board at that time was to look at option two. Option two is building a new elementary school in the Northwest on existing property already owned by the district. Expanding Bishop's capacity to 720 by building a new building on their existing property, and building a new building on the Longfellow property that will have an enrollment capacity of 720 students. Moving the Montessori program out of Franklin to Hoover Elementary, which would increase the capacity at Franklin Elementary, and still having discussions about moving the 4515 to Pinewood. But we also had some discussion about keeping the 4515 at Longfellow, but would allow more students to be part of that 4515 option since they will have a capacity of 720 students. They're also having conversation about moving the newcomer and Spanish immersion program to Bishop and Bamber Valley Elementaries and building a new middle school on the southwest. We are currently looking for property on the southwest part of the city, large enough for a middle school and eventually a new high school and probably another elementary that we will have sometime in the future. We have been asked by some, why is the middle school going to be located in the southwest? The rationale behind that is the data is showing that we're going to need a new high school probably 10 years out, and it would make sense to have a high school in every quadrant. So the new high school would be located in the southwest part of Rochester. So the new middle school would feed into that new high school eventually when that high school is built. We're also looking at adding, part of option two is security improvements, which we would look at making sure every building across the district would have a secured entrance for the safety of our students and staff. And the final piece of option two is moving Friedel. Highly gifted program could be located into the new middle school, or there is some discussion about having a highly gifted program at all four middle schools. The use of Friedel, we would either sell Friedel building or repurpose that for another district need that we have. They're also looking at additional facility needs that would also be part of the survey questions. And one of the questions will be asked, should we build a new building on the Churchill Hoover property with the capacity of 600 to 720 students? So that question will potentially be part of the survey question that will come out in January. We also had a conversation with the board to look at additional facility needs that should eventually be part of the referendum. So these will also be part of the survey questions that come out in January. One of those is to ask about high school auditoriums, and what we're looking there is all three high schools improving the sound and lighting system for the three auditoriums. We will also ask a question about pools. This is building a new pool at the Century site and renovating the pool at Male High School so it can be used for diving, and looking at closing the three middle school pools and repurposing those locations, and one of those eventually could become a gymnastics practice center, which is something we need for the district. By doing this, we would save some operational costs by closing those three very old pools, so we would save some money on operation with that option. Another thing that will be asked is site improvements, and that could be anywhere from turf for the other two high schools, restroom improvements, concession stands, or storage, but other needs that we have across the district. So those are the things that will be part of the survey that comes out in January. On November 27th, we'll finalize that with the board, and right now at this time that looks the direction that we're heading. If we continue moving forward with those proposals, we will work on the questionnaire in December, and then sometime in January we will send out the survey to every resident in the city of Rochester to get their input on not only the options that we're proposing, but the additional facility needs that the district has. And based on that survey, we'll work with the task force and the school board in February to look at that feedback, and eventually by March sometime we will have to make a final decision on how much should we ask the taxpayers for and what should be part of that. So we're still a few months away from making that final decisions, but we are moving closer and have narrowed down the options that we have been looking at for the last several months. We also updated the school board on the impact on property tax, and we typically always use a home that of a value of $200,000. So we're looking at ranges of, for example, $75 million would have a $2.08 monthly impact on the property tax, or all the way down to $200 million, which would be $8.83 per month on that same $200,000 home. So that's the current update on the work of the Facility Task Force. We encourage you to continually be engaged in the process through our website and through board meetings and citizen voice meetings that will take place in the future. So that's our latest update on the Facility Task Force, and I look forward to updating you sometime in the future. Thank you.